Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So, just when you thought the world couldn't get any more crazy, couldn't get any more stupid, you know, with your genders and your pronouns and God knows what else, lo and behold, here we go. 100 birds to be renamed because they now could be offensive. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, birds are now offensive. The project will start finding new names next year, beginning with 70 to 80 birds, and then expand the list. Ah, Jesus. I mean, there's a lovely bird there, nice black and yellow. That's called a Scots Oriole, or Aurelio, or whatever. Nice-looking bird. I go, that's a nice-looking bird. I don't know its name, and I really don't care, but it's a nice-looking bird. But apparently, that's a problem now, somehow. Any case. More than 100 birds are to be renamed by experts in the USA. Well, there's a surprise, because their current names have historical links that could be offensive. Some names are linked to historical figures with connections to slavery and genocide. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Birds that 99.99% of the planet don't understand or even know their name now have to be changed in case somebody does know their name and takes offence of something that happened hundreds of years ago. The American Ornithological Society, AOS, that's better, I'll use the short bit, has decided to take action and rename the birds, reports the Express. The AOS has become apparent that naming birds after certain individuals can be distressing to certain groups who probably didn't even know they existed. I mean, you know, a bird's a bird. I mean, I can name a few here in the UK, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, here in the UK, we're quite simplistic with the naming of our birds. We have a bird that's black, so we called it a blackbird because it's a bird that's black. See, we're good like that. You know, we got magpies, and then of course we've got our tits, our great tit, our blue tit, our grey tit. You know, because tits, I guess. I don't know. Any case. Ready for this? The power is in a name, and some English bird names associations with the past continue to be exclusionary and harmful today, says Colleen Handel, who clearly has nothing better to do with her sad life. The Society's president and a research wildlife biologist with the U.S. Geological Survey in Alaska, well known for its huge bird things. Yeah. We need much more inclusive and engaging scientific process to focus attention on the unique features and beauty of the birds themselves. Anyone who loves and cares about birds should be able to enjoy and study them freely, and our birds need more help now. So the best way to solve it is to change the names in case of anyone who's got any remote interest in birds, possibly maybe could, that's actually been said, get offended by the name of the birds. Now, I'm going to read you some of these very offensive names out in a moment, so take this as fair warning, because genuinely some of the names are, they're terrible. We've come to understand that certain names are offensive and derogatory connotations that cause pain to people who don't care, and it's most important to change those, to remove those barriers as a participation in the world of birds that 99.99999% of the world just doesn't give a shit about. Any case. Right. Okay. Sit back. Get ready. Be warned. I'm now going to tell you some very, very dangerously worded birds. This may cause offence, and if it does, don't worry, they're going to change them, and you can go cry in your safe space. Ready? Bird species that are poised to undergo name changes are, brace yourself, Gambel's quail. Sounds more like a character from Lord of the Rings. Lewis's woodpecker. Apart from it having potentially sexually connotation. Yeah. Hold on. No. You're all braced. Anna's hummingbird. That shocked me to the core. Having a hummingbird called Anna. Dear Lord. Oh, hold on. This gets a bit rough. Bullock's Oriole. That's. Oh my God. Bewick's wren. And one is the Aberdoms, if I'm saying it, shearwaters, named after the renowned bird illustrator James John Abbardon. So this is the guy who spent his entire life, clearly with nothing else better to do with it, drawing pictures of birds so everybody knows what birds look like. What did he do wrong? The bird will be named due to Abaddon's association with the slave ownership and strong opposition to abolition. Right, so something that happened hundreds of years ago now is a problem, even though this is the guy who drew all the pictures of the birds you now want to change the names of. Because back in the day, he owned a slave. Oh, God, Whoopi's back up. Go away, Whoopi. Right, okay. The Scots Oriole, which that black and yellow orange thing I showed you, that bird, yeah, is another bird that will undergo a name change because it was originally named after US Civil War General Winfield Scott. General Scott led a significant force involved in the removal of Cherokee from the lands as part of the Trails of Tears. Has any Indian complained about this at all? Have they? Any Cherokee jumped up and gone, I can't believe you named that bird after the guy who chased my ancestors 120 odd years off the plains, and moved me along, made me live on a reservation and take up gambling. Has any of them said anything? The initiative to rename these birds stems from concerns of birders. So basically, a very, very small, tiny minority of people who actually find birds fascinating. And I'm not knocking them. You know, if we in the UK, we call them twitchers, not birders. But if you're fascinated by that's good, isn't it? That's cool. And you know, but why should this tiny, weeny minority of people who change everything because it might upset them, even though the rest of us couldn't give a shit? I'm a bit confused. I really am. In 2020, following the death of George Floyd, right, so is there a bird called I Can't Breathe? Is there a bird called I Can't Breathe? Is there an I Can't Breathe bird? I'm just asking. The American Ornithological Society received a petition from, hold on a minute, from the Bird Names for Birds group. There's actually a group of people, you know it's going to be 3 or 4 people, probably all with purple hair, definitely got pronouns in their bios, and they've got trans flags and God knows what else in there. These people have got nothing to do better with their lives, which emphasised the name served as an isolating and demeaning reminder of oppression, slavery, and genocide. No, it's a fucking bird. Somebody looks at it and goes, that's a bird. No one apart from these 4 idiots sitting in a room with nothing else better to do with life goes, actually, that's a sign of oppression. It reminds me of slavery and genocide. Well, what did the bird do? It's just ridiculous. I mean, people are dying all over the world in wars. But fuck that. No, don't worry about it. It's very important that you can't name a hummingbird after Anna. Because that just offends people. You know, and apart from anyone called Lewis who's got a woodpecker, you can't do that either. It's just not right. The effort will begin in 2024 and will focus on 80 bird species. It comes as Birder, a global bird watching app. Well, there you go. I've learned something. You can get an app that allows you to go bird watching. Has been working in South Africa, okay, to broaden the adoption of inclusive bird names. Do they get pronouns? Have they got a, can't you? Is it a bisexual or non-binary bird now? I don't know. I'm getting a bit confused. Any case, joining forces with BirdLife South Africa in 2023, Birder helped launch the South African Names for South African Birds project, the SANSAB project. SANSAB. My God, I bet that costs a lot of money to set up. Producing a list of bird names in traditional South African languages. Oh, right, so we've gone from Latin, because remember, every creature under the sun has got a Latin name. And we dropped the Latin names because they were too fucking hard to pronounce. So we gave them English names. And now we want to get rid of the English names that, you know, we can pronounce. And now give them Zulu names or whatever. So now you can't pronounce them again. I mean, the vast majority of people will go, look, there's a fucking bird. But I mean, little bird. I don't know. Working with linguistics ornithologists and birders, twitchers we call them here in the UK, who speak local languages. The project is underway to come up with a list of bird names and, where there are gaps in the list, to workshop. They're going to sit down and have a workshop over this to get a name for a bird which has already had two names, its Latin name and its English name, and come up with a third name, which not only reflects the languages and the bird's characteristics, but also the culture of the people that speak the language. See, you should do what we do in the UK. There's a bird over there, it's black. What should we call it? A blackbird. There you go. What do we call that one? Magpie. Why, looks like one. I mean, as I said, we could just not bother with this and just go and use the Latin names. But again, I suppose that's cultural appropriation for the Italians. I mean, I don't know, but let's be honest now. It's just ridiculous. I mean, genuinely, let me have a sip of the old Lifer's juice. Sweetener, by the way, no sugar. You know why. Even though technically I can have some now. But in any case, I diverge. So it's a bird. So we've got basically a very, very... mind you, then again, I suppose it fits the world as it is at the moment, where we have a tiny little weeny minority who have to change everything to suit them. I can't call that bird a Gambel's quail. Was it Gambel's quail? Because it's offensive. I don't even know who Gamble is. I don't care. It's a fucking bird. Why are we always bowing down to these stupid, frankly idiotic people who've got nothing better to do with their lives than to decide amongst themselves to change the name of birds, which you do realise no one cares about? I just don't get it. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's comical. And that's one of the things that's going to happen on this channel, which I'm going to call all this sort of stuff up. I've also realised that I need a longer headphone lead because this keeps catching on the bloody microphone. Which, I mean, technically I could do without them, but I like to, make sure all the volumes are working. But, so, I mean, I don't get this. Why do you need to change the names of something? Because 20 of you are a bit pissed off that one of you has found out that one of the names could be deemed offensive if anyone realised it. Jesus Christ, we do live in a really weird world. And by somebody who has asked me once in the comments section, what's the definition of woke? Is a definition of woke. That's a definition of woke. Changing bird names because of someone's name of something that happened 200 years ago. Or even longer. Any case, I'm done with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you want to, it's up to you. No pressure. You could just pop on over to the channel and give me a subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. If you do, there's a little bell. Ding that, select it to all, and you get a notification that I've done another video. Don't forget there is a comment section down below. It's free for you to use. I always try and get to answer every comment. Let me know what you think about this. And also perhaps give me examples of new bird names, because they're going to need help. These people are genuinely, I mean, they need help mentally as well, because they're working hard to change all these names. So can we start coming up with, in the comments section, new names for birds? Because it'd be great. Because, I mean, they're struggling over there in America. When they get over here with our great tits and our blue tits and our big tits, so there's going to be, they're going to fall apart. They're just not going to know what they want to do with themselves. It's just going to be a mess. So can we all work together and solve this obvious, critically important problem of the world where birds' names are offensive? And with that, I'll leave you. Wherever you catch this video, I hope you have a good day, afternoon, or evening. And with that, and as always, I'm going to love you and leave you